A year ago, in June 2024, I would let life just bring me down every single day. I was anxious and worried about the past and stressed about the future. And I never was in the present moment. I was never thinking about the right now. And I hated myself. It led to me being resentful of my past, being resentful of the right now, the current, my girl, my friends, my parents, my job, my coworkers. And I just hated my life. But I deserved it. I deserved to hate and resent my life because I wasn't grateful and I wasn't present. I was too busy being distracted about the past instead of being focused on the future. I was too busy being resentful of the past and being grateful for what I have right now, for what I've gone through. And I'm grateful that I went through that. I'm grateful that, like, I look back a year ago. I'm grateful that I hated myself, that I was depressed, and I made no work and accomplishments in my goals. And the way that I got to where I'm right now, where I look outside, it's a beautiful Saturday. I'm gonna go to the gym after this, and I'm happy and I'm excited for the day. Is that instead of putting off things like meditation, gratitude, journaling, these mental health habits, instead of putting those off and never doing them, I focus on them. It's the very first thing I do every single morning. And you need to get a morning routine. You need to get a routine of realizing of what you have right now, of looking at the present so you can change the present, which will then change the future. Because you can't sit back looking at the past, looking at your past relationships, your past physique, your past car, your past finances, and sit there and change that. You can't change the past. You can only change the future. But the only way you can change the future is by changing right now, changing the present. And I wasn't able to change the present until August of 2024. So another like month and a half went by. Then I changed it. I realized that I put off all the things in my life to worry about the future. And then I realized that I needed to start doing habits like journaling. If you feel like life is letting you down, that you are ungrateful and you have resentment, I want you right now to get on your phone, get on your notes app, and write down what you're grateful for. Think about what you're grateful for. Let's say, for me, I'm grateful that this Saturday morning I can look out, I can see beautiful tree. I'm grateful for a tree. I'm grateful for this tree because whenever I breathe out carbon dioxide. It sucks it up and then it gives me oxygen so I can live and pursue things in my life. And it makes oxygen for every single other animal on this planet. So, what are you grateful for? Sit down, think what you're grateful for, and maybe have some negative belief in your head like, oh, I'm not grateful for anything. I hate everything in my life. But you can also be grateful for where you live. I live in America, and I'm grateful that I live in America because I could live in South Sudan. I could live on Gaza Strip. I can live in Iran. There was airstrikes recently. I could have been there. I could have lived in Iran and died in a building from a missile. I could be living in Ukraine right now, in a war, middle of a war. But I'm grateful that I live in America, that I'm relatively safe, that I don't have to worry about my safety. So you have things to be grateful for. There's things that you have that other people want. So instead of looking at the past, looking at what you want from other people, be grateful for what you have right now. Because this is the only thing that's going to be able to unlock you to get more and more, and accomplish more and more, and get more purpose and more goals accomplished in your life. Because when you're not grateful, you're just going to feel miserable all day. You're going to feel angry and upset all day. And I realized, and I noticed this immediate change when I sat down and I wrote down what I'm grateful for. That in every single social situation I was after, I'm more kind. I'm feel this more kind. I don't feel rude. I don't feel as much as angry as much. And I feel more authentic. I feel more happy with my life and the way I go about it. And to go even further with journaling and being grateful, we need to realize that our past problems, I had a past problem that I would constantly think about, I was always anxious about, and that's being cheated on by my ex-girlfriend. Until I wrote that down, I was constantly thinking about it every single day, and it was dragging me down. This life was dragging me down until I wrote about it, until I journaled about it from August to September. Constantly, every single day, I would go on my notes app and I'd write about why am I thinking about this? Why do I have this issue? How can I solve this? How can I fix this? Because as a man, as every single man watching this, we are problem solvers. We don't just sit around being emotional like how we are right now when we're anxious and upset, worried about the future, worried about the past. We solve problems in the right now. So you can't just sit there thinking about it over and over and over again for years and years and years and years. You need to write it down. You need to deep journal. You need to journal about it. So write down what you are thinking about in the past over and over and over again. What is letting you down in life? What is making you upset and frustrated? And then solve it. Solve that issue. And over time, you'll get better and better at doing this and doing this over and over and over again. And you'll actually be able to solve your problems better than thinking about it for hours on top of hours when you just journal it down for 5 minutes. So take action right now. I want you to pause this video, sit down, and journal about what is dragging you down, what is making life let you get pulled down to where you are right now. Maybe it's something in your past. Maybe it's something kind of similar to me, like where I was cheated on. Maybe it's the way that you look. You feel like you look ugly. And then change it. Write it down and solve the problem. Whenever you did math in school, you had like, what's 2 plus 2? You sit down, you look at the math problem, and you're like, okay, 2 plus 2, that equals 4. And we solved this simple math problem. Like it's more complex. Let's say like, what's 3 times 3? Oh, that's 3 times 2. That's 3 times 2. I don't know why I did my fingers there. When we can sit down, we can solve it. You probably can solve it in your head. It's 6. Why not do this with the problems in your lives? Okay, let's say you're anxious and insecure about you being fat and overweight. You journal, why am I anxious and insecure about me being fat and overweight? I write it down on a piece of paper in my notes app. I think there. And exactly like solving that math problem, I can be, okay, I'm insecure because I feel like people judge me because of it. That's a valid reason to be upset about it. And then now I'm like, okay, how can I stop being insecure and anxious about this? I can solve the problem of being fat and overweight. And when we focus and solve that problem of being fat and overweight, then we're not worried about it anymore. We solve it. We fix our problems. So stop worrying about your problems over and over and over again and start solving your problems. And how we can get more and more of our thoughts from up here about the past into the present is through meditation. Meditation, you've possibly heard of it, is when we take our mind, take our focus, and direct it towards one thing. The most common thing is our breath. We can also do it on how we feel. We can do it on sound. We can do it on light, on visuals. I can just sit here and I can kind of just meditate in my mind while I'm staring at a wall, while I'm staring out a window. And we just focus on one particular thing. So let's do our breath. I want you to meditate with me for a little bit. Take some deep breaths. When you take some deep breaths, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system. It calms your whole entire body, brings you more into a present mindset, and calms you down. After doing this 3 times, 3 breaths, we're able to just focus on our breath through our nose. Focus on one particular spot in your nose. Now you're going to think of something. You're going to think of something. Maybe you think of what I have written back here. Maybe you're thinking about what happened yesterday, what you need to do today. Now we can take our thought from, let's say you're anxious or worried about something that you need to do today, and take that thought and have our focus on our nose, and go back to our nose, go back to our breath. And when we go back to our breath over and over and over again, we build this conditioning to going back to the present moment. And when we're in the present moment, we can sit around and we can think properly. We're not going to be thinking about the past over and over and over again, thinking about our issues over and over and over again, thinking about things that don't matter anymore. And we'll be focusing on things that do matter, focusing and solving our problems, looking outside and being grateful. So be grateful. Be grateful for what you have in your life. Do this every single morning, and I promise, just like how my entire life did a 180, my entire mental health did a 180, you will do a 180 in your life. You will go and set and accomplish goals. You'll actually go and pursue and do things in your life. Let's say you don't have any goals. With your journaling, you can set goals. With this gratitude, this journaling, this meditation, you're able to focus and sit down and think about, what do I want to accomplish in my life? And then you can think about what you want to accomplish, what the best version of you is. And the best version of you is the version that is grateful, the version of you that solves his problems, and the version of you that meditates and is present every single day. The most masculine version of you, the most confident, strong, powerful version of you is grateful and happy for right now. He's grateful that he's alive and he's able to breathe. He's grateful that there's trees outside that he can go look at. He's grateful for where he lives, because it can always be worse. And he actually solves his problems. And when he's solving his problems, he's grateful that he can solve his problems. He's grateful that he does have problems to solve. So stop letting life bring you down. Stop thinking negatively and think more positively. Be grateful and be happy for what life has to offer. Because you only have let's say 60 to 80 more years if you're 20 years old. During that time, if you don't die in a car crash, die from someone shooting you or something terrible, during that time, your life is going to speed up. Life is going to start passing you by. And when you're going around life letting it bring you down, you're just going to have a sad, miserable life, and you're just going to hate every single aspect of it. So be present. Stop being in the future. Stop being in the past. And be here, because you can only change right now. And when you change right now, that will be the best version of you. So you better take action. You've already watched so far in this video. You better take action. And the best way to take action, go on your notes app and journal. Go right now. There's a meditation app, Medito. It's pretty decent. I just use the timer on my phone and sit down for 5-10 minutes. Focus on your breath and meditate. Go and write down what you're grateful for. Go and journal deeply about something, about an issue and a problem in your life, and go and accomplish it. Go and pursue your goals and take action, because the version of you that doesn't take action is the worst version of you. So be the best version. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Hunter Smith. I'm currently working on this channel, and I am working on a course as well, teaching men mental fortitude, improving themselves mentally by improving their self-image, being more grateful, being more happy, and thinking about and solving their problems in their lives. So like, comment, subscribe, all those cool things. You have an amazing rest of your day. Peace. You better lock in, because I'm going to go lock in at a gym.